What's going on in Europe, would you say? Europe suddenly seems like a different place.
It's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
Yo, my beautiful people, guys, we are back again. We are very back. It's your boy Shady, Shae, the one and the only. Today, guys, we are going to check out Elon Musk. What is happening in the UK is ugly and may destroy all of Europe. Okay, so without saying too much, guys, we are going to go straight to check this one out. We all know that some crazy stuff have been happening in the UK, okay, for the past year. I mean, not just the UK, all over the world. Sorry, that's it, the past year. The past year it escalated, but it's been going on for some time, okay, and it seems like nothing's been done to rectify the problem. Anyway, let's see what Elon Musk is saying, because Elon Musk is like, yo, something is going wrong, something, but what could that be?
What's going on in Europe, would you say? Europe suddenly seems like a different place.
Well, I mean, my biggest concern for Europe is that the birth rate is half replacement rate.
Yes.
So Europe is rapidly becoming, with each passing year, older and older, with fewer and fewer young people. So I think at a most fundamental level, unless Europe has a birth rate at least roughly equal to replacement rate, it is in population freefall.
He said something earlier that Europe is changing, right? I'm going to tell you, like, I've met a lot of people, tourists visiting this country, some immigrants coming in, asking me, as if I would know, asking me that what is going on in the UK? Like, they say the UK that they see, that they're seeing right now, the UK they're experiencing, it's not what they've always known. It's not what they've learnt about. It's not what they expect. They're like, what is happening? And I'm like, listen, you're asking the wrong person, okay? Because myself, I'm here looking to, like, what is going on in this country? It's just, things are just weird.
Your replacement rate, it is in population freefall. Population collapse is what's going on in Europe. So there's also, like, a shocking amount of censorship. You may have seen, like, in Britain.
Yes, say it.
I kid you not.
Say it.
How can this be real?
Europe is on the verge of collapsing, and this is not an over-exaggeration.
No.
Just or. Take a moment and think. Europe brought so much value to the world that we know today. It truly is sad to see that it's slowly being corrupted by immigrants and weak leaders. You can't expect Europe to last long when less young people are being born yearly to carry on the traditions, culture, and innovations of Europe. Couple this with the fact that there are also millions of immigrants flooding Europe yearly who don't even align with the culture there, and you have
that statement, who do not align with the culture there. How can you go to a place and not align with the culture of the place?
immigrants flooding Europe yearly who don't even align with the culture there, and you have a certain formula for the death of Europe. I mean, just look at Britain. Stats suggest that by 2050, it will be a 50% Muslim nation. A nation that was built on Christianity, freedom of speech and freedom of expression will no longer resemble what it was even 20 years ago.
So basically they're saying Great Britain is going to become like Lebanon, because Lebanon was a Christian country, wasn't it?
This is cultural genocide before our very own eyes. And it boils down to the fact that we no longer have traditional values at the core of Western society anymore. People are abandoning the traditional family structure that safeguarded the continuation of Europe.
True.
And we can see this with low birth rates in Europe right now, which only makes Europe weaker and weaker as the years go by.
They would actually, some of these posts that at least the ones I've seen, didn't actually criticize the government, or they were seen as sort of as hate speech.
Right.
So
because they noticed the society getting crappier and crappier with every year, and they said so.
Yeah. I mean, there were, and this I'm simply stating a fact, there were migrant gangs in England that were gangs that were, and some people found that objectionable, which they'll say it should be objectionable.
Yeah, there are lots. Just search on YouTube, you find out there are lots. not just in the UK, all over Europe, there are lots of these gangs.
And they were upset about that. And so they complained about it online and were sent to prison. That sounds crazy.
Crazy.
I mean, part of it, I suppose, is sort of the decline of religion. So, as the saying goes, nature abhors a vacuum. So when you have essentially a decline in religion, an increase in the secular nature of society, for most people, they need something to fill that void.
True.
And so they adopt a religion. It's not called a religion, but effectively like woke. The woke mind virus. It takes the place of religion.
Yes.
Wokeness. We need to talk about wokeness again very soon.
And they internalize it and they feel it with religious fervor.
Yes.
And
rigidity.
Yes. And they essentially conduct like a holy war, effectively. It's just not called a religion, but it is a religion, sort of a woke holy war. And they're highly resistant to change, as is normal for religions. So now for myself, I sort of see myself as a sort of engineer, physicist. For me, I'm culturally Christian. I grew up Christian. I mean, I was Anglican, was baptized. I went to Sunday school.
Yeah.
Actually, oddly enough, I was sent to Hebrew preschool and Anglican Sunday school at the same time. So it was hop on a gila one day, Jesus Elo the next, which is, if you're 5 years old, it's fine. There's a lot we don't know. We don't know, why does reality exist? Where did it come from? Where are the aliens? What questions should we ask that we don't even know to ask? So,
When you say what are the aliens, what do you mean?
where are the aliens? Like, why don't we see them? A lot of people think we see aliens, but I've not seen any evidence of aliens. We've got 6,000 satellites in orbit, and not once have we had to maneuver around an alien spacecraft. The environmental movement in the extreme is fundamentally misanthropic and anti-human.
Yes.
They start seeing humans as a plague, a blight on the surface of the Earth. That if that Earth would be this paradise if only the humans weren't here. And some people actually say this explicitly. There's the Extinctionist Society. That literally, this guy who's the head of the Extinctionist Society was on the front page of the New York Times, quoted as saying, "There are 8 billion people in the world. It would be better if there were none." So there's some people who actually say that explicitly, which isn't completely insane. He's advocating a Holocaust for all of humanity.
That's insane, man.
To utter madness. He should be condemned for such a statement, but he wasn't for some reason.
That's insane.
Now most people on the sort of environmental movement have that implicitly. They don't realize that they have that as their optimization, but that is their actions take us towards extinction. A lot of people believe that the Earth can't sustain this level of human population, which is utterly untrue. It may seem in a crowded city that there are a lot of people, but actually, if you look down on an airplane and you say, look down, am I over a person at any given point in time on an airplane? The answer is 99.9% of the time, no. Like if you flew from LA to New York and say your job is to drop a ball on someone and hit them, you would fail.
You have to drop a lot of balls.
You have to drop a lot of balls. It would be insane.
Okay.
So all of the humans on Earth can fit on one floor in the city of New York. Yeah, the cross-sectional area of all humans, 8 billion humans, is small. So we have this totally wrong idea that the Earth is overpopulated, when in fact it is underpopulated.
These warnings for Europe's future highlights major risks that, if ignored, could lead to serious consequences. The declining birth rate threatens economic stagnation and an aging society with fewer young people to support growth. This isn't just about numbers. Without enough young workers, Europe could face long-term decline, and it has already begun. To make matters worse, censorship is heavily plaguing free speech, which could...
Censorship is a very big problem. They censor the things they shouldn't censor. Okay, there are things that we agree should be censored. Okay, but people still need to have their freedom of speech. Okay, it all boils down to control.
Numbers. Without enough young workers, Europe could face long-term decline, and it has already begun. To make matters worse, censorship is heavily plaguing free speech, which could create distrust and division within societies. As governments suppress open dialogue, political instability will grow. Elon Musk is right to challenge the belief that the Earth is overpopulated. The problem lies in how we manage resources, not population size. Ignoring this perspective could prevent us from finding innovative, sustainable solutions to global challenges. The consequences of overlooking these warnings are clear. Economic, social, and political decline. Europe and the world must act now to avoid these pitfalls.
Yeah, we must act together. Definitely, we must act together. It should start with immigration. Okay, I'm not saying stop immigration. Okay, thank God to immigration. I'm in this country. Okay, but we should start with immigration in the sense that ensure people assimilate. All right, ensure people integrate into the cultures that they go to the cultures of the countries that they decide to move to. Okay, if you feel you're incompatible to a certain culture, you don't like their ways of life, you don't like their food, you don't like how they dress, you don't like how they behave, you think they're immoral for you, then do not go to that country. Move to another country, because there are many countries, there are all varieties of countries in the world that you can fit in. We can fit in somewhere, but we shouldn't go somewhere and force change. Those medieval times are past, where people invade countries, take over the countries, make the people their slaves. All right, humanity is advancing. Okay, let us advance. Let's not take humanity backward. Okay, and I like what he said about the world being underpopulated, because I used to wonder a lot of times when they say that the world is being overpopulated. Like, I've actually thought about this. Like in the plains, when you look down, you see vast lands. Plains. You see bushes, jungles. You see all those mountains, capes. You see lots of land, massive. All right, uninhabited. Okay, and I keep wondering. So, but they say we are overpopulated. What is going on? Okay, so yeah, I think we just need to ask the right questions. Okay, and then when it comes down to censorship as well. All right, like there are things people should be allowed to say. Okay, yes, we agree people shouldn't incite violence with their speech. Okay, they should encourage people to act on their speech and commit and wreak havoc. Okay, that I do agree with. Okay, but what I'm saying here now is, if there are problems, if there's a problem in society and people make speeches that highlight it, all right, that highlight the issues we're facing, pinpoint the problems, okay, they shouldn't be stopped. All right, because they're addressing something, they're speaking the truth. But if people are falsely saying things, like falsely, then that is different. All right, when they're making up things, fake news. But people shouldn't be victimized for speaking the truth. All right, for addressing the elephants in the room. Okay. Anyway, guys, it's been your boy Shady, the one and only. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. I'll be reading your comments also to learn a lot from you guys. All right, love and peace.
I love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shine in my way. You are me. Oh, I love you more than words can say. You are me. Oh, you are the light that shine in my way.